On Gaza, you said that the humanitarian situation could be the worst that it's been in the last 18 months. That's saying a lot. How do you come to that conclusion?
Well, we come to that conclusion that no humanitarian aid has come in for weeks, right? No fuel has come in, no food has come in, no medicine has come in. Even prior to the closures, there was huge challenges, right? But things were coming in, not at the level and the volume we wanted it, but things were coming in. Now just zilch. Nothing is coming in. Deji, then Yvonne.
A follow-up on that. 1.5 months is the time that Gazan people didn't receive any outside humanitarian aid.
Correct.
Philip Lazzarini of UNRWA suggests that Israel is weaponizing humanitarian aid. Does the Secretary General agree with his observation?
Humanitarian aid should be above any sort of political decisions, and I think there have been Security Council resolutions, and I think we've been very clear on the fact that humanitarian aid should be freely accessible to all who need it, according to international.
But does Secretary General agree with Filippo Lazzarini?
I've just answered the question.
Okay, another thing is, I'll follow this up. So, do you think Israel committed a war crime by blocking humanitarian aids in there?
Israel has responsibilities under international law as the occupying power to adequately provide basic services and humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza.
Okay.
That
okay.
is not happening. The Secretary General is not. We're not going to. We will point out the situations, the violations of we feel is international law. We will let judicial bodies decide whether things are occurring.
So at least this violates international law. That's for sure.
We've been very clear.
Okay.
My question is about Sudan and the conference that you mentioned. The expectations for this conference, you said, one of them would be the hope of galvanizing international action on the part of the international community. What does that look like in your view?
I think that looks like that Sudan's neighbors and the international community move in unity of purpose towards peace instead of fueling the conflict, right? To ensure that the two military leaders who are fighting each other over a displacement camp where famine has been reported. And I think we just need to let that sink in, right, in terms of the horrors that we see today. And that we should all be working in unity of purpose to find a political solution to this conflict, to support the efforts of Mr. Lamamra in this conflict.
Would the Secretary General like to see a condemnation of countries like UAE for their support of the RSF?
I think any country that supplies weapons to a conflict has a responsibility to ensure that those weapons are used properly and not in violation of international law. Yes, Ahmed.
Just a spontaneous follow-up.
Spontaneous, wow.
Yes.
We don't see much spontaneity here.
When you say a country that supplies arms to another country, that the arms should be used in accordance with international law, what is the situation when a country supplies a non-state actor with arms, lethal arms, and there is no control or commitment to the extent of its usage? What's the situation?
My answer will be the same. I mean, we know the volume of the global arms trade, right? We know the amount of money, and compare that to the volume of humanitarian aid or development aid, right? The arms trade is a fact of life. Any party that sells weapons has a responsibility for how they're also used. Okay. On that, no questions. Goodbye. Hasta la vista.